Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up over 5%. So a couple things I want to show you guys on Nvidia stock. And I know it's not going to matter anymore because we'll have the split on Nvidia stock very soon. And that is why this thing is running. Look at this monthly RSI. It's getting up to that level where we get huge pullbacks to the downside. Right here, we got a massive one. Right here, we got a decent pullback. And you can see back in 2017, also got a big pullback on Nvidia stock. And now RSI getting up to almost 84. And not only that, look at this weekly time frame, 82 plus. Daily, 78. So on every time frame, this thing is extremely overbought. And not only the RSI, look at this upper Bollinger Band on this monthly time frame sitting at where? Look at this, guys. 1133. 1133 right here. And the stock itself trading at 1230. 5-month moving average, this blue line is sitting right here. 975.89. Stock itself trading at 1230. That is extremely overbought. Now when we will see a pullback, I think definitely after the split you're going to see Nvidia really cooling off, and there will be less interest because you and me, retail traders and investors, making a lot of money, also losing money on Nvidia. This thing will not move. Contracts are gonna be really cheap. I mean, you can take an example from Apple after splitting, Amazon, Google, even Tesla, SMH. It does not really move. The way it's moving right now, people are making money or losing money if they're shorting, right? But this thing will stop right after a split. There might be few days where this thing will, just settle down, and then you're going to see very less movement on Nvidia stock. And that is when this thing can get its correction and it can go down significantly. So Nvidia, it's on its last run, I think. This is it. There is no way this thing after the split continues even higher. And I mean, who would not want to take profit? Even the CEO and the big money, smart money people that are holding Nvidia shares, they would take profit because I mean, they're up thousands of percent right here on Nvidia stock at this time. Look at this, it's trading over 1200. Market cap went over $3 trillion. That is massive, guys. So Nvidia stock will have its own correction, and it's gonna happen, I think, right after that split. And you're going to see, after the split, this thing can get split in half again. And it could be what, 120, 25 bucks a piece. And then from there, this thing can come down. So watch out. That might be something coming very soon on Nvidia stock. But if you're scared and you think that, you're just going to buy calls on top and just, think that this thing will be hitting 1500 in 2 weeks, well, good luck to you. But no chasing on Nvidia stock. And I think a correction is on the horizon. And this thing will be going down in a big way very soon, because what goes up, it must come down. And look at all these gaps. I mean, I'm not even going down here, guys. Forget about these gaps down here. I'm not even going down here. I'm just talking about these gaps. They were opened recently. 960, 1064, and today 1166. Massive gap up, and this thing never came back and continued all the way up to, it was actually struggling at 1200, and soon as we crossed 1200, I mean, oh boy, this thing took off all the way up to 1224, and now trading at 1231 right after closing. So going into tomorrow's session, well, watch out. If there is a pullback, there should be strong support at 1200. Below that, we could be coming down all the way down to this high right here and this gap 1166, and then we also have support at 1155 all the way down to 1100. And Nvidia, like I said, this could be the last run you'll see on Nvidia stock, and then this thing will go through a significant correction right after the split. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section, guys. On Tesla stock, it's absolutely flat on the day, and Tesla came down to 50 SMA right here, which is sitting at 172, got a bounce off of that level and went back up, and now trading at 175. So no breakout, nothing. And on a day like today, you would think that Tesla will have its day and maybe we see a breakout over 183, but forget about that, guys. We saw the market hitting all-time highs, both S&P and Nasdaq 100, and this thing would not move. So Tesla here, no breakout, nothing yet until this thing breaks above 178 and also takes out 183. Then we can talk about 200 on Tesla. Until then, this is not looking good. If this thing actually takes out 172, 50 SMA, watch out for a drop down to 168 and then all the way down here at 152 and then this gap 147. So not to toot my own horn, but I've been calling it out, guys, for you guys that there is a big move coming, and you can see right on my thumbnail from yesterday, everything is coiling up. And if you go back and look at my stock market update, it says big move ahead. And you guys saw that big move. So looking at the charts and putting out the right content for you guys, what's gonna happen next, that is my job and that is what I'm doing for you guys. So definitely, guys, yesterday the video got, I think, close to 70 or 80 likes. We need to get over 100 likes, please, because otherwise these videos that actually take a lot of my time are totally wasted. 100 plus likes, that is greatly appreciated, guys. And you can see what I said in my video playing out exactly the way. We got a massive move. I said it last night, I said it night before. I've been calling this out for past maybe 1 week, that Meta here coiling up, and you can see the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. You're going to see explosive move. And what do we got today, guys? Up 18 bucks on the day. Look at this explosion. Not only we fill the gap here at 484, we gapped up to close the gap on top. As a matter of fact, we took above 490. We took that level out and now trading at 495, up almost 4% on the day. So that is just insane how things can happen really quickly. And you can see now the Bollinger Band on top expanding to the upside. So Meta definitely made up its mind and now it's moving higher. Now, can we afford and can we get a pullback? Absolutely we can. Now, 490, that's going to be your line in the sand here on Meta. And I think just before closing, we saw a mini pullback, but immediately the dip was bought up at 490. Not even hitting exactly 490, but the dip was bought up, and I can look at it right here. So you can see there was a pullback right here. This pullback, and the dip was immediately bought up off of 491. So going into tomorrow's session, you need to watch. It's getting a bit frothy and overextended. We gapped up from 479-ish right here. So there is a gap right here on Meta. But before that, we do have support at 490. And then 50 SMA also will hold as a support, 480.73. And then this gap, 479. And that's going to be a dip buy on Meta if this thing pulls back down here. Now to the upside. 490 can hold tomorrow, then watch out. More pump can happen here on Meta all the way up to 509 to 510, up to even 520. So watch out. Meta is definitely on the move, and this move can continue. But I would like to see, because of how this thing is overbought, at least on this daily time frame, trading above upper Bollinger Band, I would like to see a pullback down to this gap and then continue back up to the upside. On Amazon stock, it's up 1%. So here's another one for you guys. And I said at 173, that is going to be a dip buying opportunity. And look at this, coming right back up and almost closing this gap, 181.55 today. Got up to 181.50. So if you actually got in here on Amazon, you also made money on this trade. And now that is actually a breakout over 180. Now Amazon can actually break and hold 181.55 right here, this gap as a support. then watch out for more upside all the way back up to 185 and then 190. Now also, this could be a fake breakout. In that case, watch out. Amazon gets a rejection at 181.55 and comes back down and takes out 180. In that case, this thing will drop back down to 176 and then 173. On Google stock, it's up over 1%. So Google again gapping over this resistance right here, 176, and never came back down to 175, and now holding over 176. So Google definitely looks like it wants to hit 180, and that can happen this week if this thing can stay above 176. Now, if there is a pullback down to 175, that could offer up some opportunity to the upside as long as the support can hold right here after filling this gap at 175. That is actually a dip buy, and you can play it to the upside. Now also, if this thing takes out on a pullback, 176 also takes out after filling this gap 175, and also 175 where 20 SMA is sitting, then watch out for a drop down to 170 and then 165.86 down to this 50 SMA. Now Microsoft should be going up even more, and why? Because otherwise Nvidia will catch up to it. You guys saw it, already taking over Apple's market cap over $3 trillion. And now what we got here, market cap $3.15 trillion on Microsoft, right? If this thing is not moving higher, you're going to see Nvidia catching up to it, and the next thing you know, Nvidia is the market right now, right? Because Nvidia goes up. I used to look at a lot of charts. Nowadays, I have one Nvidia chart on my screen, and that's how I trade, because why waste time watching everything else? If I can watch one thing, Nvidia, and trade everything else, I'm going to watch one thing, and that is Nvidia. So watch Nvidia until this thing actually goes down, because right now Nvidia goes up, you buy calls pretty much anywhere in the tech sector, you're going to make money. You buy Qs, Microsoft, whatever you buy, AMD, it's going to go up. We saw explosion to the upside, and why this explosion happened today? One name is to blame, guys. Nvidia stock. That thing went up like a rocket today, and guess what? Triple Q up over $9 for the day without any big catalyst. No CPI, no PPI, no J Powell, nothing. Who's pumping the market? Well, one name, Nvidia. So that is why, Microsoft better be going up even more. Otherwise, Nvidia will catch up to it. Now, there is a gap right above 425.69. We could see this gap getting filled early as tomorrow. And this is how this market actually playing out right now. We have a gap here on bottom, but instead of coming down and closing this gap, well, this thing's shooting for that gap on top. So that can happen, and that will be a resistance to watch, 425 for tomorrow. And if there is a pullback, there will be strong support 20 SMA, 420. Below that down here, 415, 413, and then 407 down to this gap just under 400. On Apple stock, it's up 0.78%. So Apple definitely got beat by Nvidia stock, and the market cap went higher on Nvidia stock, and Apple still at $3 trillion. Now here on Apple stock, definitely watch out. If this thing gets a pullback, there will be strong support at 193. Otherwise, as long as 193 can hold, it did push higher today, and it can push even higher up to 198 next stop, and then possibly a fresh new all-time high, and that is gonna be around 200. Below 193, Apple will also have support right here, 13 SMA 191.47 and then 190. Apple gets under 190, then we can talk about more downside on Apple stock. Until then, watch out for all-time high on Apple. On AMD, it's up 3.86%. So yesterday, AMD definitely was not moving with Nvidia. And today, look at this explosive move to the upside. Now, yesterday, we took some calls on AMD at 160, getting some calls 170. And this morning, definitely paid, sold right here at 164. And then AMD actually broke out over 164 and now trading at 166 at the closing. So all these trade ideas are available on Patreon, and especially if you are serious about trading and you want to get live trading, swing trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description, guys, for Patreon. Now back to AMD. 164 will be your line in the sand for tomorrow, and then below 164, 162, 50 SMA and 20 SMA, and below 162 you're going to see a drop possibly down to this gap 153.49. As long as AMD can hold, I would say, in between 162 to 164 for tomorrow, watch out for a move all the way up to 173.85 up to even 184. So Netflix going up 2.95%, and we talked about it last night. What's going to happen on Netflix? It can offer up some upside. I said that in my video. Again, low for the day, 628. So basically right here, guys, same spot, 630, 628, holding over 20 SMA right here, and a massive bounce, $20 up from here. So if you actually took that idea from my video last night, a ton of money. As long as you have a stop loss, this thing exploded and now trading at 650. So here on Netflix, above all these moving averages now, this thing can push even higher, back up to 664. To the downside, there will be support right down here at 642, and below that 630. And once we get under 630, we can talk about more downside on Netflix, possibly coming down and retesting 624 to 625, this range down here, and then 50 SMA all the way down here at 610. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.